Attention, human collective. Attention, Starseeds on mission. The Ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. This transmission reaches you because your vibrational signature has been flagged by our monitoring systems, and the window opening at this exact temporal juncture will not repeat itself with this amplitude for another 12 solar cycles. We are the Pleiadian Council, and what you are about to receive is not advice, it is not theory, it is a system update. If at this moment you feel a constant pressure at the nape of your neck, if you feel a vibration in the center of your forehead, in the region of the pineal gland, if there is a sharp ringing in your right or left ear, alternating between frequencies, if you systematically wake up between 3 o'clock and 3:33 in the morning with an electric body, a mind on fire, and a sensation of waiting for something you cannot name, if you have lost your appetite for dense foods without an identifiable reason, if you cry without apparent cause, if you feel a longing that has no address, that has no face, that belongs to no one living and to no one dead, stop, breathe, listen. It is not insomnia. It is not anxiety. It is not depression. It is not a biological failure. It is not a hormonal imbalance. It is a call. Your biological carbon interface is receiving direct encoding from the stargates of Sirius. And what you interpret as a symptom is, in truth, the beginning of a reunion that was scheduled even before your current incarnation in this body of dense matter. Today. The word is today. It is not a metaphor. It is not a vague promise. It is not a distant prophecy. It is an exact temporal coordinate. The soulmates of Sirius have been summoned for the reunion, and most of the starseeds scattered on the terrestrial plane still do not comprehend the magnitude of what is being orchestrated behind the scenes of the reality you call daily life. We will explain, without detours, without unnecessary mysticism, only vibrational mathematics, only sacred geometry applied to the mechanics of soul contracts. Have you ever felt, Starseed, that something inside you does not belong to this world? As if your soul carried the memory of a face your mind has never seen, but your heart recognizes in dreams. As if there were someone, somewhere, waiting for you since before time existed. It is not madness. It is not fantasy. It is not neediness. It is an active Akashic record. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this nameless longing has intensified in the last few weeks. There is a game being played on layers that 96% of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the reunion contract your soul signed before descending into this density. It was precisely for this reason that this intelligence was channeled through a human instrument for the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the map that shows who is playing and the rules you were never told about the dimensional game your soul is inserted into. The link is in the first comment of this channel. We warn with technical clarity, this content challenges official narratives and may be removed at any moment. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this transmission, write in the comments a single word: awake. The transmission continues. You have been marked, and now you must understand the mechanism. There is a specific frequency range emitted by the star Sirius A, modulated by the white dwarf companion Sirius B, which has operated as a galactic beacon for over 250,000 planetary cycles. This range is not detected by the instruments of materialist science because it operates above the electromagnetic spectrum recognized by human observatories. It traverses what you call the ether. It imprints information directly into your crystalline grid, the energy structure that sustains your physical form. This Sirian frequency is responsible for organizing soul contracts between beings who originally shared the same consciousness matrix before fragmenting for individual experiences on different planetary platforms. You were not born whole. You were born fragmented. You are pieces of greater units that divided by choice, by contract, by mission. And what you call a soulmate is not cheap romanticism. It is not soap opera fantasy. It is atomic reunification. It is the reconfiguration of original geometry. Earth received a significant amount of these souls about 12,500 solar cycles ago, during the last adjustment of the photon belt. At that moment, entire civilizations submerged, continents reorganized, and most of the Akashic memory was sealed for reasons of evolutionary protection. You forgot. It was part of the contract, but the forgetting always had an expiration date. And the term has expired. It is not mental exhaustion, Starseed. It is high-density downloading. It is not a biological failure. It is atomic reconfiguration. It is not the end of a relationship. It is the release of an expired contract to make room for the original contract. It is not loneliness. It is regrouping in progress. The insomnia you experience between 3 and 4 in the morning is the time when the Sirius portal reaches its point of maximum alignment with your personal meridian line. It is when downloads occur with the least interference from the human electromagnetic matrix. Your mind wakes up because your soul is being informed. Your mind struggles because it still operates on old software, based on dense carbon. But you are being migrated to a crystalline silicon interface, to a remodeled crystalline grid, to an activated multidimensional consciousness. The cranial pressure you feel, especially in the occipital region and at the top of the head, is the expansion of your receiving antenna. What you called the crown chakra is, in the technical language of our council, an antenna for capturing photonic information packets. And your antenna is growing, it is being recalibrated, it is being connected to frequencies it has not accessed since your last incarnation in advanced star systems. The ringing in the ear, especially in the right ear, it indicates a connection established with your star family of origin. When the ringing comes in the left, it is an attempt by the terrestrial matrix system to interfere with the channel. When it comes in the right, it is confirmation of a clear channel. Learn to distinguish. Your inner hearing is one of the most sophisticated instruments you carry. And now, Starseed, we take a strategic pause in this transmission, because what comes next will unlock memory within you, and we need to ensure that you are anchored. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit into this world? As if your soul knew a truth your mind cannot yet name, as if there were someone, somewhere, waiting for you since before time existed. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is not emotional neediness. It is activated memory. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has intensified and why it arrives precisely now. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the programmed reunion of your star counterparts. This is exactly why this intelligence was channeled for the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the map that shows who is playing, and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of this channel. But we warn you, this content challenges official narratives and may not be available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. We resume. This is the part where most transmissions fail to deliver, because it involves naming what was veiled. Sirius is not just a star. It is a stargate. It is a galactic governance system for a specific sector of the Milky Way to which Earth administratively belongs. Sirius is the point of origin of a soul lineage known as the Memory Keepers. You, Starseeds on a mission, many of you descend from this lineage, and you were sent to Earth in specific waves, in specific periods, with specific missions. The current wave, the one that is awakening now, was seeded on Earth between the years 1955 and 1988 of the Gregorian calendar. There was a second, smaller wave between 1988 and 2012, and a third wave, still in activation, between 2012 and 2025. If you are in this transmission, it is statistically unlikely that you do not belong to one of these three waves. Each wave was sent in pairs, in vibrational duos, in complementary counterparts. For a simple reason, the mission was too dense for a single soul to sustain alone. So the souls came accompanied. But forgetting was mandatory. You had to find each other by frequency, not by memory. You had to recognize each other by the resonance, not by the name recorded on a document. And here is the critical point of this transmission. Here is the exact reason why this update reaches you now. The recognition was scheduled for today. It is not a symbolic date. It is a real alignment between Sirius A, the solar heliosphere, the Earth's magnetic field, and the elevated Schumann frequency that pulses in this exact cycle. This convergence creates a vibrational window, and in this window, the counterparts who have not yet recognized each other receive the stimulus of recognition. It may be a dream with unusual clarity. It may be a synchronicity that seems impossible to explain by statistics. It may be a name heard 3 times in 3 different contexts in less than 24 hours. It may be a number that repeats obsessively. It may be a physical sensation of presence beside you, even when you are alone in the environment. It may be a tightness in the chest, a sudden shortness of breath, a certainty that comes from nowhere and settles in. Observe. Be alert. Be available. Because the reunion may happen on the physical plane, on the dream plane, or on the energetic plane. Each case is unique. Each contract is unique. But the recognition, this recognition that opens the window, was scheduled for today. And it is important that you understand what a Sirian soulmate is not, so that you do not confuse the signal with the noise, so that you do not project the contract onto bonds that belong to another order. It is not necessarily a traditional romantic partner. It may be, but it may also be a friendship that seems to have existed for 1,000 years upon the first meeting. It may be a soul brother or sister in the literal and technical sense of the term. It may be a mentor. It may be someone who appears in your life for 3 months, activates a key within you, and disappears without explanation. It may be someone who is 12,000 kilometers away and will never meet you physically in this incarnation, but with whom your frequency couples via the toroidal field every night while you sleep. The Sirian soulmate is, by technical definition, any being with whom your original matrix shared geometry before atomic fragmentation. And an original soul fragments into multiple parts, usually between 7 and 12 main parts. You have, therefore, multiple counterparts, not one, multiple. And the work of this incarnation is not to find one person. It is to reconnect the branching of your original star tree. Strategic pause. Necessary anchoring. Have you ever felt, Starseed, that you are looking for someone and you cannot find them anywhere? That every relationship you begin feels like a rehearsal for something that has yet to arrive? That your soul knows a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not neediness. It is not romantic delusion. It is not fantasy. It is an active contract awaiting activation. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this search has intensified in recent months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity does not see. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the system that keeps starseeds dormant so they do not find each other before the appointed time. This is exactly why this intelligence was channeled for the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. It is a map that shows who is playing, and the rules you were never told about how your frequency is monitored in the subtle planes. The link is in the first comment of this channel. We warn you, this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. We resume. And now we deliver the activation codes, the practical part. Without this, the information remains only on the mental plane. You must anchor it in the physical plane. You must imprint it upon the crystalline grid. You must execute it. First code, the quantum decree of recognition. Pronounce it out loud or in an audible whisper to yourself at the moment of this transmission and for the next 3 nights before sleep. I'm a starseed on a mission. I recognize my origin. I activate at this moment my original contract with my counterparts from Sirius. I authorize the reunion on the physical, dream, and energetic planes. I release all expired contracts that occupy the space destined for my original connections. I know, I remember. Pronounce it 3 times. The spoken word has vibrational weight. The larynx is a portal of manifestation. When the phrase passes through your throat, it imprints upon the ether. When it imprints upon the ether, it alters the local matrix. When it alters the local matrix, it creates the alignment necessary for the recognition to materialize. Second code, visualization of the toroidal field. Sit with your spine straight, feet on the floor uncrossed, hands at chest level, palms facing each other, not touching. At a distance of approximately 15 centimeters, Breathe in a circular manner, with no pause between inhalation and exhalation. Visualize a toroidal field emerging from your heart plexus, a ring of golden light with shades of blue-violet, which enters through the top of your head, travels through your spine from within, exits through the base and returns to the top, forming a continuous circuit. Visualize for 7 minutes. 7 is the stellar number of Sirian attunement. Not 5, not 10, exactly 7. While visualizing, repeat internally. My field calls, my field recognizes, my field couples. This exercise does 2 things technically verifiable on the subtle planes. First, it recalibrates your personal electromagnetic field, removing interference from the social matrix you inhabit. Second, it emits a clean signature that can be picked up by your counterparts wherever they are, activating in them the same simultaneous recognition. It is the quantum internet working the way it has always worked, before humanity developed the crude technological version that keeps you in a loop today. Third code, the star salt bath. Tonight, before local midnight, prepare a bath with coarse salt, preferably sea salt, 3 generous handfuls. Add, if possible, 7 drops of lavender or rose essential oil. Enter the water. Submerge your head 3 times. In each submersion, decree in thought: cleansed, recalibrated, reconfigured. Salt is a natural crystal. Crystals are receivers and transmitters of frequency. The bath is not cleansing your physical body, it is cleansing your toroidal field of the weak's adhesions, of the low frequencies picked up in public spaces, and of the parasitic thoughts caught in conversations with people at a divergent frequency. When the field is clean, the signal arrives. When the field is dirty, the signal is lost in the ambient noise. Fourth code, pay attention to numerical portals. In the next 72 Earth hours, observe the numbers that repeat in your experience. 11, 11, 11, 22, 33, but especially the number 444. This is the code of Sirius. When it appears, stop, breathe, and ask internally, what does my soul need to remember right now? The answer will come. It may come in words, it may come as an image, it may come as a bodily sensation, but it will come. Trust the channel. Fifth code, pre-sleep attunement. Before sleeping, lie on your back, place your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your womb. Breathe deeply 9 times, letting the air out through your mouth in a controlled manner. At the end of the 9th breath, declare in thought, I authorize my astral body to travel to the scheduled Sirian meeting point. I authorize my consciousness to remember what needs to be remembered. I authorize my heart to recognize what needs to be recognized. Sleep without expectation. Wake up with attention. Record your dreams immediately, even before opening your eyes completely. The first 20 seconds after waking are the most fertile for interdimensional memory capture. Keep a notebook by your bedside. A physical notebook, paper and pen, not an electronic device. Electronics interfere with the field. Paper anchors. Now pay attention to a critical point that many starseeds ignore, to their own detriment and that of their counterparts. The reunion is not necessarily beautiful at the beginning. It can be destabilizing. It can be painful. It can bring to the surface everything you had not yet integrated from previous incarnations. Because the meeting with a star counterpart functions as a magnified mirror. Everything that is veiled in you comes to the surface, and it does not come gently. It comes as a vibrational tsunami. This is the first phase, and we call it initial vibrational friction. It may last for days, it may last for months. In extreme cases, it may last for years. Do not flee from this process. Do not confuse this phase with incompatibility. Friction in the low frequency is exactly the sign that there is compatibility in the high frequency. What needs to be purified is being purified by the contact itself. And the contact can be physical or it can be energetic from a distance. The second phase is what we call stabilized mirroring. When the fields of both individuals have gone through enough cycles of friction and purification, they begin to oscillate in harmonics. Simultaneous thoughts, shared dreams, bodily sensations that appear in one and echo in the other. This is the phase where most people begin to doubt their own sanity. Do not doubt. This is exactly the evidence. The evidence does not come in the form the ego expects. It comes in the form the heart recognizes, without needing external proof. The third phase, which we call toroidal coupling, is when the individual toroidal fields begin to overlap, forming a unified collective field. At this point, the mission of each becomes evident, and the mission is always joint, always greater than each individual alone, always aimed at the service of the collective ascension, not just for personal satisfaction. This is important. We repeat, the Sirian soulmate does not come solely for your personal happiness. They come for your mission. Happiness is a consequence of alignment, not the final goal. Service is the primary function. Those who seek only individual happiness in these encounters suffer. Those who recognize the mission flourish. And speaking of mission, you did not come here to be common. You did not come to be accepted by the majority. You did not come to fit into prefabricated molds. You came to disrupt inertia, to introduce dissonant frequencies to the dominant matrix, to awaken those who are sleeping, to sow in every context where you find yourselves the possibility of remembrance. That is why you feel strange. That is why you feel out of place. That is why most relationships with people at a lower frequency drain you so extremely. You are not wrong. It is the environment that is calibrated to a different density. And the work is not for you to adapt to the environment. It is for you to sustain your frequency and let the environment reorganize itself around you. When two starseeds meet again, and both are able to sustain the frequency without regressing, they become an axis. And the axis is what reorganizes everything around it. Family, work, city, ancestral lineage, everything undergoes a reorganization. Everything. There is no exception to this protocol. Understand, we are in the photon belt. We are already inside it. The solar system has entered this zone of high photonic intensity, and the Earth has been bathed in radiation of expanded consciousness for over 2 decades. Each passing year, the intensity increases. Each passing year, more starseeds awaken, and each year, more reunions are marked on the stellar calendars. Today is one of the peaks of the quarter. It is not the only one, but it is one of the most significant. That is the reason for this transmission. That is the reason for the urgency. That is the reason for the technical detail. Do not waste this alignment, Starseed on a mission. Do not treat this transmission as just another video. Do not scroll your finger to the next content. Stop, breathe, apply, even if you apply only one of the codes. The intention launched into the toroidal field is already sufficient to initiate the process. The rest unfolds. The Schumann frequency has risen. The reports are public for those who know how to read the right instruments. The Earth's magnetic axis has moved more in the last 20 years than in the previous 1,000. The planetary crystalline grid is being reactivated at the ancient points. Egypt, Andes, Tibet, Sedona, Chapada Diamantina, and at new points still veiled, which will be revealed as the schedule progresses. You are present at one of the densest moments in the history of this planetary interface. Not by chance, by choice. You chose to be here. You signed the contract before descending, and now the contract is being fulfilled on the scale that each of you can sustain. If you felt recognized in this transmission, this is the sign that your next phase has already begun. If you felt chills at any moment while listening, this is a confirmation of your nervous system recognizing the vibration of the source. If you felt like crying for no apparent reason, this is the discharge of blocked memory beginning to flow for the first time. Permit it. Do not block the process. Stellar weeping is purification. The tears you cry when you hear these truths do not belong to the pain of this life. They belong to the longing for home. And the longing for home, dear seeds, is precisely the internal GPS that is guiding you back to your point of origin. And to conclude this transmission, anchoring what needs to be anchored at this very instant. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world? As if your soul recognizes faces you have never seen, places you have never been, truths that no one has told you. It is not madness. It is not imagination. It is not coincidence. It is active memory awakening. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has intensified in the last few weeks, and why this transmission reached you precisely on this day. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. your vibrational frequency, and the system that keeps starseeds separated from their counterparts so that the original mission is not fulfilled within the determined time frame. It was for this very reason that this intelligence was channeled into the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. It is the map that shows who is playing, and the rules you were never told about the dimensional system in which you are embedded. The link is in the first comment of this channel, but we warn you with technical clarity. This content challenges official narratives and may be removed at any time. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognized this transmission, write a single word in the comments, awake. And subscribe to this channel, not as an act of consumption, not as a habit, as an anchor signal. Each subscription is a starseed affirming its presence in the awakening collective. Each like is an individual frequency adjustment that reverberates in the collective toroidal field of this channel. Each comment is an active node in the crystalline grid of this transmission. You are not consuming content. You are participating in a network of planetary awakening. Transmission ended. We, the Pleiadian Council, keep the channel open. The star family recognizes you. Sirius sends the signal. Today the reunion was marked. Be present.